ladies and gentlemen, he is 1/3 of the group that gave us hits like Backstabbers, For the Love of Money, Stairway to Heaven, which is one of my favorites. And the Mighty Mighty O'Jays are rock and roll and soul music legends. And we are very, very proud and pleased to have with us the man in the middle, also known as the Boy Wonder, Mr. Eric Nolan Grant. Hello, sir. How are you?
What's up, JD?
I don't know it, man. I don't know it. How you been holding out during this COVID-19 situation we're dealing with?
Rough, man. I mean, the only thing that's as far as this pandemic, I just miss the guys. I just miss being around Eddie and Walt. You know what I mean? Because basically, when we're together, all we do is laugh and joke, and you know, we just have fun. It's just nonstop fun. Now, as far as being, as they say, locked down, that don't really bother me too much because.
Are you a homebody?
I'm a loner. I'm a homebody. I'm a loner. You know what I mean? And my grandmother taught me a long time ago, in order for me to, you know, enjoy home, I have to surround myself with the things that make me happy at home.
I'm chilling too. I'm not stressed about it. I'm just going with the flow. And only thing I have missed was being able to get a haircut every week.
I feel you, man. And you know what? I was in that same boat for a while, but man, I went to Walmart and bought me some clippers.
Yeah.
And so when the next time they see me, if they say, "Oh, he's bald headed," it's because I've been cutting my own hair.
Let's start at the beginning. Your partners in crime, Eddie Levert, Mr. Walter Williams, they met when they were little boys, 6, 7, 8 years old, started singing together in the church choir. You had a very different start, but even before the Deltones, you started out as a solo artist on top of your mom's dining room table, I hear. How many how many, I want to know, how many ass whoopings did you get for that?
Man, bro, it seemed like I always got. My brother used to say, "Man, you always get whoopings." But you know, and that's what it was. It was, I scarred up her table, man. And hindsight is 20/20. But as I look back on it, I used to have those black marks on her table because I was trying to emulate James Brown.
Yeah.
And so, in order to emulate James Brown, I would have to wear my dress shoes.
Yeah, you got to scuff the
table.
You know
what I'm saying? So I was scuffing the table with my dress shoes because we didn't have, like, you know, 6, 7 pair of shoes. You had one pair of shoes.
Right.
Those were your dress shoes. And so the shoes I would wear.
What inspired you to jump up on that table and start performing and eventually, ultimately find your voice, your talent?
I think just watching the Jackson 5, you know, and first back then I was watching the Whisperers. I was crazy in love with the Whisperers and the Temps and all of those guys. And I felt like I wanted to have other people with me, so I wanted to start a singing group. You know what I mean? And I used to always hear the singing group in the alley because the alley made an echo noise between the two buildings.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I heard this group called the Trotters. Now, the lead singer for the Trotters was a guy named Kenny Pettis, who later on became the lead singer for the Daz Band. Well, I used to listen to their group sing, and that's what made me really, really, really want to sing in group because they was doing all that harmony and all that. It was just pretty, man.
Yeah.
Nothing that I could have did by myself. So that's what made me want to have a singing
group. Once you finally started, you know, going on your way and getting a little traction with singing background, the Deltones had some local success. Did you ever imagine, I know that, you know, you began to dream about, you know, taking this worldwide and being this great big superstar. Did you ever dream that the dream would come true and that you really would be singing on stages all over the world with an iconic group like the O'Jays?
No, that was not part of the plan. The plan was, I put together a group. We emulated the O'Jays, and we thought, you know, our thing was we thought that the O'Jays would one day fall off. They're going to eventually fall off.
Right.
And just like there was New Edition who came along, you know, after the Jackson 5 and the Temps and all of them, we thought we were going to be the ones to replace the O'Jays. So that was our dream. Me being in the O'Jays was nowhere near part of the plan at all. That's something that God did. That had nothing to do with me.
Yeah. You came into the group mid-90s, right? Was it 95?
95.
95. How difficult was it coming into an established group with an established fan base and not really, because I've heard you say that you knew your position. Your position wasn't to be, Eddie or Walt, but you knew how to play your position. But was there some kind of hazing that went on? How difficult was it to kind of win over Eddie and Walt and even the fans?
When I first got in the group, it was like being jumped into a gang. You know what I mean? Because when I first got in the group, we did our first tour, the Father and Son tour in '97, around '97.
Oh, okay, with Gerald
Levert.
So
yeah, so that was the very first tour I did. Well, ironically, because I was with the Principals, I rode on the Principals bus. So, of course, I rode with Eddie, Gerald, Walt, and all them. The people who handled the bags never picked my bag up and took it to the room.
Yeah.
When we first got on all of them would have to get their bunks first before me. The only great thing about that was coming up with my brothers. I had two other brothers that I lived with. My mother had bunk beds, so I always sat on the top. I always slept on the top.
Okay, so you were comfortable.
Yeah, because the top bunk was always open.
Right.
Nobody took the top bunk. So I was to this day, I got the top bunk.
Right.
Left side.
And right at home. Right at home.
I'm right at home. And then back then, they gave me like $25 a day per diem. $25 a day just to eat. I was in heaven.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was getting 100. I was getting 25, but I was like, shoot, you know how many bologna and potato chips I could buy with that? Man, I was in heaven.
But I imagine that you would have, swept the floors just to get the opportunity to be up there with those guys.
That's I'm saying.
That's what a privilege it is. Yeah.
It didn't bother me the way that they were disciplining me. It was cool, but it didn't bother me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in between two legends. You know what I mean? And I knew Sammy. Me and Sammy were cool anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Sammy's the one who taught me how to get to the choreography for the Love of Money. Like Sammy actually, Pop Atkins showed it to me.
Sammy Strain is
the one who showed me, okay, do this and remember it this way and remember it that way, because there was so many angles in For the Love of Money.
I've been, I've seen you guys live a number of times, big fan. And it always looks like you guys are having the most incredible fun up there on stage, especially you when you're doing all those smooth moves. How difficult is that choreography?
It's incredibly difficult, because if you take 1 minute and just think like, I got this, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. And you take 1 minute and don't think about what you're doing, you lose it.
Wow.
You lose it, because every song has its own routine. None of the routines are the same. None of the steps are the same.
Right.
All the choreo. Charlie Atkins was a tap dancer. So he taught us tap dance moves. And everything that the O'Jays do is on a 45-degree angle. Everything we do, you must do it at a 45-degree angle and work your way back up to the microphone.
Yeah, because you got to get back to the microphone to do that.
Get back to the microphone to sing.
Yeah.
And be in breath. So that means you have to be fit. You have to be physically able to do that, so that you're not coming back up to the microphone talking about for love, money, for love.
So tell me, what's the most difficult routine for you? Which routine taxes you the most during the show?
I don't have a routine that gives me any trouble now. You know what I mean? Used to Be My Girl and For the Love of Money is the one you really have to think about. You do have
Okay.
to constantly think that record.
I've been to a number of OJ's concerts. The fans are incredible, and I know that they've grown with the group, but the ladies still lose their minds for you guys. I mean, the last time I saw you guys was a few years ago in Durham, North Carolina, when you were on tour with Gladys Knight. I have seen huge, humongous granny panties fly through the air and land on the stage. I've seen some little sexy ones too. What kind of spell do you have these ladies under? What is the OJ secret?
JD, listen, man. I don't have a clue, because sometimes I get caught watching the show myself. I get caught watching Eddie. I just think there's just nothing like Eddie Levert. There's nobody like Eddie Levert. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you think you've seen it all, you got this cool guy that can sing every and anything out of Walter Williams.
Yes.
And so what I try to do is I try to find my niche. So I try to keep it exciting and keep the energy up. You know what I mean? And keep it kind of cool. But hey man, the first time I saw Panties come on the stage, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. I'm looking at him like
who caught him? Who caught him?
Yeah, Eddie picked it up with his microphone. He picked it up with his microphone and showed the crowd. And I'm like, man, they is throwing panties on stage. And then Walt came over to me and gave me an elbow. He's like, come on, boy, sing. Because I couldn't believe it, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, what's the craziest thing that you've ever had to deal with from a fan?
I think craziest thing that I ever had to deal with was a woman. Well, let me say two of them. One was a woman running up to the limo, crying, had tears in her eyes, and was just saying how much she loved me. And so she was crying and she was saying this, and Eddie was right next to me. And he was like, but if you knew him, you wouldn't love him that much. And she was crying. And I think the other one was us being in Johannesburg. I saw a lady, there's a picture inside of the Love You to Tears album with me leaning on a car like this. And this lady had it blown up like it had to be like 8 feet. It had to be like a big, humongous poster. She had it on one of those poles.
Yeah.
And had it in her hand saying, "We love Eric. We love Eric Grant." And I was blown away. This was in Johannesburg, and I was like, "Wow."
That's amazing. Wow. That's got to feel good to have those people so many miles away, a world away, actually, embrace you like that and have that kind of affection for you. Well, since we're talking about fans, I want to try and bring in this huge OJ fan who's been waiting to get in and talk to you and ask you a question. Let's see if we can get this going. Say hello to Eric Nolan Grant, Cint.
Hello, Eric.
Hi, Miss Cynthia. How you doing?
I'm good. It's so nice to talk to you.
Likewise.
Yes.
Cint, I was telling them how you have traveled wherever you could travel to see the OJs in concert. So we want to hear about why you love the OJs so much, and I want you to tell him about the time that you were able to meet the OJs in person and kind of have a little good time on the tour bus.
Yes, we all in an afternoon, a Sunday afternoon, I got a call to come to Charlotte to the Carol Wins Palladium. That's where I got to see them that particular time. And we had backstage passes. And then we got to sit on the tour bus and have a cup of brews. And
that was before me, Miss Cint. I promise you that was before me.
Well, it probably was. It might have been.
It was. I know it was. If you had some brews, I knew it was before me.
I had them. Yeah.
Because they don't even drink brew no more.
Well, this was with the band, I think.
Oh yeah, not them, nah,
Yeah, you never can trust the boys in the band.
Yeah, not them, nah. They drinking brews right now.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Sent, what is your favorite OJ song?
It's got to be my family reunion song.
Oh, I forgot, Sent. Every year, her family has this huge family reunion. And that song is played each and every time, and she leads it. I should have known that was your favorite song. I knew that.
Yes.
I knew that.
And that got started. I was to give the welcome address to the entire family at the dinner. So I got up there and I forgot what I was gonna say, and I just broke out in, "It's so nice to see." It took me about 5 years before I learned all the words to the song. Well, I love it.
You got it down pat now. Well, Sid, how do you feel about, last year in 2019, the OJs released an album called The Last Word, and word on the street was that they were saying that was the final album. I even heard the word retirement mentioned.
Yeah.
And Eric's nodding his head. Is that true? No, is that the last we're going to hear from the OJs? Certainly not.
I didn't think they accepted me yet because it had been 2 years.
Oh wow, yeah.
2 years. I had been singing with these guys for 2 years. And they never even introduced me. Like I'm talking about, like I'm on stage and like, bro, they never even introduced me.
Well, I want to move off of this. All I wanted to say was, Eric.
And Bobby and Whitney just stood up and started dancing in the middle of our show.
Doing just fine in my life.
Sir.
Love it.